Chronicles of Enigma presents The Black Dahlia Murder. Los Angeles in the 1940s was a city of glamour and fame, a place where dreams were made and fortunes were won. But in 1947, this idyllic city was rocked by a crime that would go down in history as one of the most heinous and mysterious murders ever committed. The victim, Elizabeth Short, also known as the Black Dahlia. Elizabeth Short was called the Black Dahlia by the press due to her dark hair, black clothing, and rumored association with the film The Blue Dahlia, which was released around the time of her murder. At approximately 10 a.m. on January 15, 1947, a mother who was walking her 3-year-old daughter made a shocking discovery. What she initially thought was a mannequin turned out to be the mutilated body of Elizabeth Short, who had last been seen on January 9, 1947, and was found dead with her blood drained from her body. Her body had been cut in half, her blood drained, and the victim's intestines were placed neatly beneath her buttocks, while the lower part of her body was found a foot away. Her legs were spread apart and her hands were posed over her head. Although there were some minimal bruises around the incision line, the medical examiner determined that the body was severed after Short's death. There were marks present on her ankles, wrists, and neck. She had multiple cuts with pieces of flesh cut off. There were also deep cuts from the corners of her mouth to her ears. Bruising was visible on Short's head, and the medical examiner determined that the cause of death was cerebral hemorrhage. There was evidence that the victim may have been raped, but no sperm was found. On January 21st, someone claiming to be the killer of the Black Dahlia contacted the press and ominously declared that they would be sending souvenirs of Beth Short's through the mail. 3 days later, a postal worker delivered an envelope addressed to the Los Angeles Examiner and other Los Angeles newspapers. Inside the envelope, Short's birth certificate, business cards, photographs, and scraps of paper with names written on them were found. Additionally, an address book was discovered that did not belong to Short. On January 24th, a black shoe and a handbag were found by the police about 3 kilometers away from where Short's body had been discovered. Both items were confirmed to belong to Short. The address book must have more clues than what was originally thought. All the evidence that was sent in was cleaned previously with gasoline. The detectives investigating believe the murderer sent the items. Facts about the case. The body was severed in the same manner as a hemicoporectomy, which is the surgical procedure that precisely cuts through the second and third lumbar vertebrae to avoid cutting through bones. The body was washed, and although there was evidence suggesting that the victim was raped, no sperm was found or any other DNA to link a suspect. The envelope that was sent on the 21st of January was cleaned with gasoline, hence the investigators were not able to identify the sender's fingerprints or any DNA on the package. The handbag and shoe that were recovered by the police were also washed with gasoline, which destroyed any DNA or fingerprints that could have been there. Eyewitnesses reported seeing a black sedan the night on January 14th near the location of the body. A cement sack was found near the location of the body. The address book in the parcel had the name Mark Hansen embossed on it. In 1949, 2 years after Elizabeth Short's murder, the LAPD received a potential lead when a man identifying himself as Jack Sand contacted them with information about the case. Sand, whose real name was Leslie Dillon, claimed that a man named Jeff Connors had killed Short because she was threatening to expose a scandalous affair. Dillon had previously worked for Mark Hansen, a wealthy businessman who was also a suspect in the case. The police were intrigued by Dillon's knowledge of the details about the case that had not been made public. Additionally, Dillon had been staying at the Astor Motel, where Short was believed to have been held captive before her murder. The motel owners reported finding a room covered in blood and fecal matter around the time of the killing. Despite these suspicious circumstances, neither Dillon, Connors, nor Hansen were ever charged with Short's murder. The murder of Elizabeth Short remains one of the most tragic and mysterious crimes in American history. Theories and suspects come and go, but the truth about what really happened on that fateful day in 1947 may never be known. Her tragic and untimely death shook the nation, and even today, over half a century later, she remains a symbol of the darkness and violence that can lurk in the shadows of society. Let us not forget that behind the gruesome details of her death was a vibrant and promising young woman. She had dreams and aspirations, hopes and fears, just like any of us. She was a daughter, a sister, a friend, and her life was cut short before she had the chance to fully realize her potential.